The Boston Uprising on the attack.
It'll be another defensive Pharah on this map, so we've been seeing a ton of defensive Pharah here on Eichenwald. Counter the opposing team's Pharah and also put some damage as the opponents walk through the choke.
Casper, friendly Pharah, already taken to the skies and looking just to try and punish here a little bit. Once he gets close enough to the enemy Pharah, oh, that was, oh man, okay. That was an incredibly long-range shot in terms of Pharah v Pharah matchups, and Casper had that down to a pinpoint. Almost a slight smirk on his face, but there's work to be done now. Again, there's one Baby Bay, one. Looking for a second, he's got it at pretty much point-blank range, but that'll do the job. You can see the Dak trying to go for the rest, but he's being chased in. Strike has found him, so no chance to bring back that player at all. The Pharah's going to be off. And now Dream Casper gets to rule the roost once again. Plenty of freedom now for him. Gumsu being brought back by Kellex. Very clean push, and definitely when you have a player like Dream Casper who can open up opportunities like that, getting the pick on that enemy Pharah, it's golden.
Yeah, as soon as your Pharah falls on the defensive side of things, you have to be so worried about a player like Dream Casper in the sky that it allows Striker to just kind of run on in, finish off your support. So Baby Bay actually goes over to Widowmaker, expecting the Pharah to keep coming into play. And
whoa!
Okay.
Neko from the low ground there,
Deleted.
unloads. Yeah, that probably should be rezzed up here because I think the McCree is actually not the ideal response here too. Maybe he expected Baby Bay to still be on that Widowmaker. Sorry, on that Pharah, should I say, and bring out the McCree, but the McCree has a distinct disadvantage against Widowmaker, especially at these kind of extreme ranges.
At these ranges, and then just the height disadvantage that you're dealing with. I wonder if we'll see Dream Casper go over to Genji, right? You really just put a lot of pressure, go back to that dive for Boston, go up on the high ground. Be Boston getting 2 picks though. Be Dream Casper taking out, yeah, Doc and Dante. Baby Bay will fall at the hands of Gamsu, and the payload just keeps on moving here for the Boston Uprising.
So perhaps, you know, it's not about picking the McCree to deal with the enemy Widowmaker, but deal with the Tracer, and obviously sort of punish that Mercy in a position there as well. Sleepy, wow, I'll tell you what, the right clicks from both of these Zenyatta players have just been absolutely mercurial so far in this match. Baby Bay opens up the fight though, or at least he was part of it. Pick on towards Gumsu. This is going to force now the reses out of Kellex here, trying to get his team back. Dak is going to respond in kind. Both Mercies using those Valkyries. And Casper, what is he looking for here? A Deadeye? I'm not sure who he's going to find here. Oh, Baby Bay punishes him there. That is a bit of a cocky move.
Still have Kellex in Valkyrie form here. Dak, as soon as he used it, actually fell there. So San Fran, pretty fortunate. They're able to win this fight even after they didn't get a great use of their Valkyrie. So it'll be Boston having to back out here. Kalios, always ideal situation here. So no, there you go. Dante just finishes him off before he can jump off the side of the map. So all kind of have the same effect. He'll have to go back to the spawn, get a new mech back. Sleepy will have Transcendence for this next fight, and Dante will have a Pulse Bomb. On the side of the Boston Uprising, you're going to have your own Pulse Bomb, you're going to have a Primal Rage, and you're going to have a Self-Destruct. Remember a game during the preseason? Oh! Yeah, the preseason doesn't really matter anymore. Baby Bay's going ham. But I was going to say, remember in the preseason, Gamsu had that sick play using Primal Rage, gets down to 2 HP, knocks some players off the map on this map towards this kind of stage of the map. So we know he's effective with that ultimate at this stage of the game.
Again, it's tough for the tanks of the Boston Uprising to get access to Baby Bay right now. He's diagonally a long way away from them here, and they're going to try and break line of sight while they get closer to this very important Widow core of the composition. The San Francisco shock. They seem to have done so, but Baby Bay can always back away. Note, he has his grappling hook off cooldown. He can use it as he gets knocked around. Now, the Primal Rage of the Winston's not enough to force it out of him, but this could be nasty. Self-destruct in. Dak and Baby Bay both down, and this could be the opening the Uprising are looking for. It's so hard, man, to escape the self-destructs on that bridge.
Yeah, it's just so wide open, and then especially when you have the enemy Winston just kind of knocking you into the open, preventing you to go out. Such a great ultimate combination there from the Boston Uprising. The Primal Rage forcing people out onto the bridge and using that self-destruct. Dream Casper will have this Deadeye. He's setting up on the bridge with it. He's not going to be up on the high ground. You have Striker here with a Pulse Bomb. Will San Francisco come out and challenge? They will, and it looks like you're going to see Valkyrie used from both sides. So San Francisco going to come out with Valkyrie. If Dream Casper here using the Deadeye, he's able to get one.
So much value though on picking off a Winston there. Nomi going down was relatively close as well to that Primal Rage, but just getting 500 HP worth of, you know, value in terms of one Deadeye. Absolutely take the single man kill. And Dream Casper staying safe. Now he decides to come forward. He knows he can do that. Fan hammer. Chaotic. The bullets flying everywhere, but it manages to control the recoil enough to finish off the Tracer, and now the Primal Rage being employed to the point Nomi is back and trying to use it to stall, but he's on his own. Discord Orb there, Flash to follow up. And they're still contested though. You can see that Nevix manages to make his way back to Disu Kalios. But that's going to be it now. And Dreamcastle wants to press forward. Dak better be careful. The damage is there. Baby Bay could be in a compromising position. There was nowhere else he could have gone. He was out of position. They caught him on a split spawn, and Casper, all he needed was a couple shots to finish.
Yeah, Baby Bay gets that front spawn. You can't even really fault him for that, right? I mean, there's nowhere he can go. Yeah, it's kind of like when you get split spawn on Gibraltar. So we'll see Nomi play Reinhardt, so they'll go Reinhardt Zarya here with Junkrat the later portion of the game. Now it's going to be very difficult for Dreamcast to get anything going. You know, he's going to be just shooting into this Reinhardt shield. Unless you see Striker connect with a pulse bomb. Takes out Nomi right away. It'll be Baby Bay connecting onto Gamsu though with a Deadeye. Kellex will bring Gamsu right back into the action. The kills here going in favor of Boston. That's going to be 4 kills in favor of the Boston Uprising as they're moving the payload pretty quick here through the last stage of the match.
I know no one cares about Striker. For some reason, he's out there being a homecoming queen and no one's there to stop him. First the pulse bomb, then the second follow-up kill. The San Francisco shot get pushed back down into the corridors and not allowed to play the game on that last point really at all. That was very convincing. One has to think that the Boston Uprising were more than ready to deal with that Reinhardt-based composition on the last stage of the map.
Well, they didn't even really have a chance to put a great effort, San Francisco, with that Reinhardt comp because Baby Bay gets killed. Then they kind of come around the corner and Striker hits Nomi with a pulse bomb. They never actually kind of get set up. Like at that point in the game, like there are so many kills going in favor of the Boston Uprising, so much staggering going down. They're never able to get another good team fight. Did the San Francisco Shock.
Look at this for a back and forth series. Again, a victory here for the Boston Uprising will take us to our 5th and final map. It would be Lijiang Tower. And Dak, we're searching for answers right now. It does seem a little bit quiet on the side of the San Francisco Shock. Perhaps they just know that they need to get the map done before they can start thinking about anything else.
I wonder what San Francisco Shock decide to run on offense. Do you have Baby Bay play a Pharah here? Do you go with a dive with a Genji Tracer? Do you keep him on McCree here, kind of combat Dreamcasper, who will be playing Pharah on defense?
Not falling for it this time. San Francisco Shock are on the attacking side and Boston are defending, so bear that in mind.
There is still time for them to change.
Change sides?
No, change comp.
No, I mean, I didn't want to go.
San Francisco is going to opt to go back on the defensive side of things here. No, that's not a thing. I wonder if we see Baby Bay, get into some trouble here, because if you run the McCree into the Pharah on the opposing side, in that previous series that we casted, where they just kind of played around that middle statue there, where you see Gamsu set up, it's very difficult to get any shots into that Pharah.
All right, guys. As we come into this one again, San Francisco on the attack, Boston Uprising defending with that defensive Pharah we're starting to see. So we've been talking about that a lot, Matt. It's just interesting to see how that's being brought in, as you sort of already described and explained. But that does kind of make him vulnerable. You mentioned that Baby Bay, that McCree will be pressuring out the Pharah. Now on the attack, San Francisco are pressing forward here, and Dreamcast was already taking a couple shots. That's going to keep him honest.
Yeah, it'll be San Francisco on offense. They push on through. See Baby Bay trying to connect with Kellex up in the sky, then he puts a shot into Dreamcaster. So you get the Mercy low, force her down. You see now the push coming in right on top of Baby Bay, gonna force him to back out.
Baby Bay is pulling back for a moment here. The rest of his team obviously unsuccessful in that first push. And you can see Baby Bay is trying to chunk down Dreamcasper as quickly as he possibly can. That's a very late kill on Sleepy. That's gonna be another 3 seconds before he is back. Again, we talked about this, I think that first time we watched the Shanghai Dragons play, probably against the Seoul Dynasty, we saw that Undead was being pressured. He was playing McCree, which is technically correct, into a team that's boasting a Pharah, but the Tracer gave Undead so many problems that he had 2 targets to deal with, both that he was technically accounted to, but juggling both of those priorities at once is so hard.
Something interesting on the Boston defense, they're not running the Zenyatta. So Zenyatta Mercy seems to be kind of the flavor in terms of supports. They're actually going to be running Lucio here as Dante gets Kellex low. Now he's going to drop a pulse bomb onto Kalios. Kalios going to get D-Max here.
You see Kalios a very quick veer left to make sure no one else was affected by that pulse bomb. That's a good opening here though, with Dreamcasper now falling to Nevix. It's going to be reses galore here for Kellex to try and get his team back on their feet. He's obviously used his Valkyrie, as has Dak. Slower push here for San Francisco. They're not confident going forward yet. Those reses now start coming out. Sleepy's back, but Baby Bay is left upon once again. He's not getting the space that he needs to be super effective on this McCree right now, and it shows.
And you would think that with the San Francisco Shock having this Zenyatta on their side, with the Discord orbs, you'd be able to just put down so much more damage than the side of the Boston Uprising. Zenyatta provides so much utility in that regard. They've been able to just work down these tanks a little bit better, but not able to do so thus far. Babybay does have a Deadeye. It's great to get the Pharah in the Mercy out of the sky if you can catch him sleeping a little bit. See how they decide to use this. You see how much damage Dreamcast was getting just going through this choke. So they're going to use the Deadeye. They're going to engage as well.
That's clever. It looked like Nomin was going in to try and knock people into the Deadeye. But Babybay, I guess, didn't quite have the little happy red skulls I think that he was looking for. Regardless, he's still going to find Gamsu after the fact now, and Striker needs to really start to run a riot. The Pulse Bomb might be the first step. He's looking for Sleepy. Oh, he just slaps him. Doesn't even need the bomb for that one. Save it for a rainy day. Speaking of rainy day, the barrage already came down. Dak picked apart by it. No mercy for San Francisco. Shock in both senses of the term. And now it's going to be the dust clearing once again. Boston looking pretty good. Babybay, that's a good kill, but it's not going to be enough to win this out. Gamsu and Neko are still there. It's going to, at the very least, defer this push. And now with Gamsu isolating the McCree, that will be the end of that push.
And San Francisco's trying to keep this push going because they know that they have two members from the side of the Boston Uprising coming off the spawn, but those two players are back. You're going to have Kalios and Striker getting back into the action here for the Boston Uprising. Kelix will have his Valkyrie in this next fight. Sleepy still with this Transcendence. And Babybay now with another Jetta. Just how does San Francisco play around these ultimates to break this hold?
The quick Deadeye, I'll be honest with you. Dreamcast was staying out of line of sight. Can't peek now because the Deadeye is in play. But again, there's no mechanics on the side of San Francisco to force Boston out into the open to suffer the wrath of the McCree, so no one is felled. Dante down there as well. He just walked into a rocket. Dak's going to go for the res immediately now. Both sides. Going for that Valkyrie now. Nomi pushed back for a moment here. Heads to the sky, and now Casper's getting into the danger zone here. Getting a bit too close to Babybay, perhaps, for his own good. He's going to have to save his skin if he's not careful. Could be in the barrage here. No! It's shut down! Flown straight into. Great response by Nevix. He gets de-suited, but it may have been worth it. Casper now is back up on his feet, Matt. Nevix down. Neko's going to get the better of Babybay here, and it looks like overtime to be ticking down. Boston have control, but Sleepy's not done yet. Getting healed up the whole time by Dak. One tick and two ticks here. San Francisco might be on the run.
Yeah, they lose Neko though as he's getting close to his sound barrier here. Striker on the point, just trying to stay alive for the Boston Uprising. Here, Resurrection coming in. It's going to be Dak bringing Sleepy back into the equation. Sleepy will take out Kalios. Still have to deal with Dreamcasper though, as Babybay has gone over to the Soldier 76.
Yep, get that extra speed, more pressure for Dreamcasper as well. Nevix takes him down the second time in a row. Gamsu now also getting hammered on. It's going to be San Francisco to push forward. It's contested, but it's a 1v4 situation. They get it done at the death of it. Talk about keeping yourselves afloat. San Francisco at least get to play the other 2/3 of this map, but it doesn't mean it's all sunshine and rainbows for them. Only 2 minutes and 15 to get to the gate of the castle.
I wonder if we see the Boston Uprising on defense get very aggressive and dive down upon San Francisco Shock. You can force them to use some of their ults because they only have 2 minutes to go the entire length to get to that point B checkpoint, and oh, that's a huge kill. They actually lose Kelix right at the beginning, and here they come. They're going to get aggressive, but now that you know the other team doesn't have that mercy, you don't really have to use a ton of these ults. Babybay will use attack visor here. Here gets taken out by Dream.
Not happy. He is not happy at all. Something went wrong for him there. Casper jumps upon him. Probably need to see a switch away from the 76 if Babybay wants to be as effective as possible. They've only got a minute 38 to go. I mean, there are so many looks here, but again, you could go back to that McCree. You could go for a Widow if you're not afraid of getting jumped on, and there it is. Babybay switching now, and you know he's thinking it's time to make a play.
And you see the position that Gamsu is set up in. What they can do is he can jump over the top. You can have Striker go around that building, and you can come on a little bit of a flank here with the Divers. That's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to go over the top. They have Striker coming in here with Dreamcasper as well. It's a beautiful flank that comes in from the Boston Uprising.
Sorry, a bit of a gasp there. It's maybe overly theatrical, but he did force the Transcendence out of Sleepy. That's now expired, and Gamsu was looking to maybe just make quick work of the Omnic Monk with his Primal Rage, but he realized he was running a little bit out of gas. He didn't have the teammates with him. A minute. This is good stall from Boston, though. Even if they're losing these fights, they're able to really strip valuable seconds off the clock, force San Francisco to use these ultimates as they are now.
Yeah, I mean, Nomi's used Primal Rage. He used a self-destruct here. They do not have a Transcendence. Dak has Valkyrie. Dante has a Pulse Bomb. For Boston, you do have both of your support ults here. You do have a Dragon Blade.
This position is so strong. If Boston want to try and get rid of Babybay, the safest bet is to play a Widowmaker of their own, which they're not going to do because Dreamcasper has his blade. But trying to access the Widow here,
He's
you're going to take so
far
much
away.
It's almost impossible. This is the best place on this map, in my opinion, for a...
Are they going to challenge the card?
Just.
Okay, barely.
Now it's going to be Kalios jumping on. Dunta blows himself up with a pulse bomb, if I'm not mistaken. Not the start that San Francisco were looking for, but Dak's going to be there to help him up like the big brother he is to this team. Casper down. He had the Dragon Blade. It's going to be denied away from him. Calyx now reaching into his pocket for a resurrect with that Valkyrie. Baby Bay can still kill people through that Transcendence. The burst damage of Widow is still scary. Calyx is a one hit. He needs one more shot. Calyx, no, it's Danko to shut him down. Boston Uprising, the door is closing in the face of the San Francisco shock. There's got to be a response, but it is only Dark now. He is down, Dante to fall, and the wick is done. And the Boston Uprising make it a 2-2 series, and we are going all the way.
2 Game 5s today. First game of the day, last game of the day. Boston will hold on defense there, putting up a tremendous effort on the first point, right? It was so difficult for San Francisco even to take point A, that even when they did take point A, they didn't have a lot of time to work through. Yeah, I mean, 2 minutes is not a ton of time to work all the way down towards the entrance of the castle. It's great defense from Boston.
All right, we're going to be heading, of course, onto a 5th map following this one. Even if San Fran had got that second point, it would have been tough to finish the map, but they brought it back. They've got that grit. That's what we want to see from these teams. A bit of moxie goes a heck of a long way in the Overwatch League. It's time to see it on display in our final map. It's going to be Lijiang Tower coming right at you around the corner.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP and by Intel.
On paper, coming into this match, both of these teams have very similar records of 1 and 2. The difference is, of course, that Boston had a rough road throughout the early part of this week. But now these two come to a head. Both of, the forging of these two teams throughout the Overwatch League has produced this result. It's 2 and 2. I'm heading to Lijiang Tower.
And you can see the potential from these two teams, when they are clicking on all cylinders. You know, Boston's dives didn't look great on Oasis. They come back there on Eichenwald and they looked really good. You know, the coordination was there on that map. San Francisco Shock, you know, you're playing around Baby Bay, sitting all the way back on that Widowmaker. And he's hitting the shots. You just got to have some other people clean up some kills there at the end.
I mean, on the other hand, you saw the stats at the halftime break, 42 and 4 eliminations to deaths for Striker. That's astounding. That's a heck of a lot of legwork being done. 4 deaths.
Yeah,
all the map.
And we were talking, you don't really see these two Tracer players like going at each other, right? Like, you know, Save Hill B, when he plays Tracer for NYXL, he really kind of like hunt down the other team's Tracer. He's like a great Tracer counter player. These two Tracers in this game, Striker on the side of the Boston Uprising and Dante on the side of the San Francisco Shock, they're really putting an effort on getting the other tanks. We see all the time the pulse bombs going on to the divas. You get that diva out of the Mac. You know, she loses a ton of firepower, obviously. The defense matrix, a huge utility tool for diva players. You see that's where the real emphasis is from these Tracer players.
We saw how Control went earlier on the series, Oasis. Now, it was a different map, by the way. We almost attempted to use the transitive property of winning on the Control archetype in our match between the Valiant, of course, and the Spitfire, and it didn't work out because the Spitfire came up and won this map convincingly. So we can almost treat this as like a clean slate. And again, teams do practice this particular map in scrims, but it's definitely not the one that they sort of nail out the most. I've seen it in quite a few blocks come up. But if we open up here, we're going to Night Market, by the way. Again, the double Pharah match-off would be a treat to see once again.
I think kind of an issue, not really an issue, it's kind of like a nice luxury to have. Your Boston Uprising is like, what do you play Dream Casper on a map like this, right? There's so many different heroes he plays. It's like
spoiled for choice,
yeah,
I believe.
you're kind of spoiled in the fact that like you come out with so many different looks. It's like, which one do you finally decide on? It'll be Pharah for both teams.
We'll get that matchup, which is going to be interesting when it comes to the point fight. Pharah has to give away a lot of her safety when she wants to interact directly with the fight on the point, but Striker goes down already. He's picked off on the periphery by Baby Bay, who made his way around the outside. Just got a couple of those rockets in to finish those kills. And look at this. How comfortable do you have to feel right now as Baby Bay? Got a lot of space. You know where the enemy Pharah is. You know where the enemy Mercy is. Oh. And they're going to be in the bin. That's where they're going to be. Oh. A good response. Dream Casper brings it back now, and Baby Bay is punished there for his overconfidence in going in. Perhaps just killed enemy Pharah first.
Oh, and Dak will go up the map there.
Oh no, Neko's just taking it apart.
Double Lucio boot coming on through there.
What is this game?
For the Boston Uprising. As now it'll be Boston taking the point. San Francisco never actually even took the point, right? They got so aggressive trying to force players back. As soon as Baby Bay fell.
Yeah, I mean, Baby Bay's out there still dabbing, deciding which stud he's going to wear today in his ears. And all of a sudden, the Boston Uprising managed to come back. It's so funny how you have a preconceived idea of how a fight's going to go, and then it completely gets turned on your face. Baby Bay, that's it! The revenge is so sweet for Casper. He gets his second kill of that fight this time. He keeps his Mercy alive. Nevix isn't able to get close enough to damage Dream Casper with his own barrage reflection, but he still manages to block most of it. But Nomi falls. This is now Boston Uprising starting to build up ahead of steam.
And Dante goes onto the point, and he's just chased out by Striker, preventing any type of back cap situation here.
He's freaking laughing. He's smiling. He's having a great time.
Striker with a pulse bomb. See what he decides to do with it. I'll look to see him kind of target Nevix with that pulse bomb. Baby Bay getting close to his own rocket barrage. Both support ults going to come online here for the San Francisco Shock as well.
Nomi getting bursted down now as well. Forced to go for the prime rage because he wants to be a part of this fight, and San Francisco need him to. Neko down early, but rezzed out by Kellex. A reasonable decision, especially with Neko being able to give the healing and speed boost to the rest of his team. But those heals are done now, but it's worked out. It's been helping Boston to weather the storm of the Shock players coming in. Now they can fight back, but Sleepy has some reses of his own. Kalios was taken down by Nevix, but brought back, and now Nomi's back on his feet as well. This could be a longer fight. You see that San Francisco haven't quite got inside yet.
Well, you lost Dak, which would have been great after you use that res. Then you use the sound barrier and really start to push through. If you're the San Francisco Shock, it's just that second support ult you don't have at your disposal. San Francisco still extending this fight, though. Dreamcaster on the point, very difficult for Pharah to be in. Gamsu's able to get to. Now you see Dak use that sound barrier. He connects with two of his teammates.
Look at Gamsu just sticking to his targets there. He managed to get 3 kill completions in the end there. You know, Temp's fate going over the edge. Neko, can you come back from this? That's the question. I'm pretty sure you can. But no, he's being pressured by Nevix. It's not going to be enough, though, with Neko. The Houdini. Or perhaps this match gets himself alive, stays around, and then Boston need him right now. It's important. 99 to 0%. Could be the shutout they're looking for, and San Francisco might be done and dusted after that display. 2 kills from the barrage of Dream. Casper patience pays dividends for Pharah mains. And our Dak is going to fall. The wick burning down, and I don't see any Shock players within the vicinity. Nope. It's going to be Boston starting off this tiebreaker very well.
San Francisco invested heavily into that one fight when they had the Valkyrie. They just were not able to use that sound barrier to really give them the extra sustain on the point. They end up coming back with the sound barrier. They have to kind of use it at that point because it's like 96% and counting for the Boston Uprising. I believe it connects obviously with Dak himself, Sleepy, who's playing the Mercy in that situation, and Dante as well. So they connected on the 3 players. It's just not enough to keep them alive on the point.
That's Kelix's happy face, for those that are wondering. Trust me, you should see a sad face. One more round to come now, potentially. Or will the shot bring it all the way again? I mean, their control was very, very good, but it seemed like the Pharah v Pharah did not favor them much in that previous round.
As we go into the next point, this is the best one for your Reinhardt-Zarya combinations. Watch Kalios on the Zarya. That is probably his best hero. He's playing the Diva as the off-tank role, but his Zarya is really something special.
Keep an eye on that ult percentage as well. Look how aggressive this is for the Uprising. Kelix is speed boosting him all on top of the shock. And San Francisco are desperately trying to get away, but they are able to back up. Kalios gets caught a little bit behind the rest of his team, and Baby Bay punishes him there with a headshot to finish. Neko, I mean, 80%, close to that coalescence. It's getting real close here. Damage he's getting, and he's not really being noticed doing though. It's gonna be a flash in the back. And more than a flash in the pan, the San Francisco shock now gonna try and take control themselves.
I think Boston will back out from this fight. Dreamcasper running on out. Dreamcasper just show it off now. He's running the Diva here for the Boston Uprising. He's played so many heroes, I'm not even sure if we've seen this from him yet. As it'll be San Francisco Shock taking the point. Here's going to be the Coalescence coming in. The Riptire from Dante as well gets taken out by that Coalescence.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't show up on the feed, but we can assume it at least exploded for whatever reason. Striker there, Pulse Bomb. Will be Dante that he's looking for at this stage. A bit of damage will do the job, but that's a stick. No, just over the head of Dante. Close, but no cigar. And Kalios goes down first in this fight yet again. We talk him up a fair bit. We know he's an incredibly good Zarya, but so far he's been the first target removed.
Yeah, maybe a little bit over-aggressive. And also, I mean, you get Zarya out of the equation when you have Junkrat on your team. Then you can just kind of spam as you please, right? The only thing you're really worried about is feeding that Zarya, getting her charged up when you're playing Junkrat.
The problem is as a Zarya, sometimes if you walk